Here we have a inference task from Logical Reasoning Drill Set 2 at lawhub.lsac.org. And even with a rather dense and somewhat seemingly conditional inference task, we're going to try to rely solely on our highlighting tools as opposed to writing out conditional logic on scratch paper, because doing everything in the interface with the digitally administered LSAT is quite simply more efficient. So we already have one of our highlight colors selected, and we read question 7. The statements above, if true, most strongly support which one of the following? So we're being asked to strongly support something. We know that we're looking to find an answer choice that, based on the statements, is 100% certain even without additional information, but it's not explicitly stated. So we're going to highlight the statements of fact one at a time using different colors to distinguish them, in the hopes that this will clarify what's happening and allow us to cross-check the answer choices against the facts individually without wasting the time and writing out what isn't necessarily even a straight conditional, because we're using qualifiers of most throughout this paragraph. So we start at the top. Most large stores that sell mainly books also sell calendars and are open during every month of the year. Okay, so we're just going to highlight that in our orange, knowing that this is a statement saying that most large stores that sell mainly books also sell calendars. There's like three different conditions here, and I really don't want to be breaking this out. I'm just going to highlight it in orange and say this is my statement about large stores that sell mainly books and also sell calendars and are open during every month of the year. Next, we have most stores that sell mainly calendars. However, now we've changed our subject matter. We were talking about mainly books and also sell calendars. Now we're solely talking about stores that sell mainly calendars. And these stores, however, are not open during most months of the year. So I'm going to just change my highlight color and highlight this sentence as its own fact, recognizing that we've shifted our terms. We've gone from large stores that sell mainly books and calendars to just stores that sell mainly calendars, and those stores are not open during most months of the year. Then I'm going to change my highlighter color one more time, and we're going to read the final statement. But stores that sell mainly calendars are more likely to be open most months of the year if they are in a large shopping mall than if they are not. So we can avoid highlighting the transition term, but I am going to want to highlight in a different color this final statement, which further distinguishes about stores that sell mainly calendars and how they're more likely to be open most months of the year if they're in a large shopping mall rather than if they aren't. So we've got our three facts highlighted for clarity, and now we're going to go to our answer choices, looking for reasons to eliminate falling under the categories of something that's an extreme inference, something that's possible but not certain, or backwards based on the statements of fact as presented. So, starting with choice A, if a store sells mainly calendars and is open most months of the year, then it is probably in a large shopping mall. Now, this is tricky because if we just focus on the two conditions in pink and yellow in the paragraph, we see that most stores that sell mainly calendars are not open during most months of the year. So we're focused on just this mainly calendars part. But if a store sells mainly calendars and is in a large shopping mall, then it's more likely to be open most months of the year. But that doesn't go all the way to probably. And that probably is what makes choice A incorrect. These questions can take a little bit of time. You may decide that complex inference tasks are something that you might guess and skip on your first pass through a logical reasoning section. But in the purposes of this video, we can see hopefully now why choice A is incorrect based off of the statements of fact directly without drawing out conditional diagramming. Next, choice B, if a large store sells mainly books and is not open most months of the year. Well, we talked about large stores that sell mainly books and are open during every month of the year. So we don't know anything about that category of book or that category of store when it is not open most months of the year. So we can eliminate choice B as introducing a new variable that is not defined by the facts on the left-hand side. Next, with choice C, If a large store sells calendars and is open most months of the year, it probably sells mainly books. Well, we don't know that at all. This is ultimately kind of an improper reversal if you do know conditional logic, but we don't actually talk about a large store selling calendars. Period. We talk about large stores that sell mainly books and also sell calendars. So we've got a few term shifts occurring in choice C in addition to what ultimately ends up being kind of a conditional improper reversal. Next, choice D. If a store is not located in a shopping mall and sells mainly calendars, then it is probably not open most months of the year. So we talked about how most stores that sell mainly calendars are not open during most months of the year. Well, that matches what choice D says. And then we learned that if that same kind of store is in a large shopping mall, it's more likely to be open most months of the year. So it logically follows that if that store is not located in a shopping mall and sells mainly calendars, it is probably not open most months of the year because we know that when it's in a large shopping mall, it's more likely to be open most months of the year. So choice D is the correct answer. Again, we're going to try to do this without conditionally diagramming, just in the name of efficiency, but hopefully you can follow how choice D is 100% guaranteed based on just interpreting those last two facts, the pink and the yellow. And then lastly, choice E, if a store sells both books and calendars and is open during every month of the year, then it probably is a large store that sells mainly books. We are combining all of our terms here. We don't know anything about both books and calendars. That's a term shift that's not there. We also are not talking about books and calendars primarily. We're talking about mainly books at the outset. So we can eliminate choice E for a number of reasons. And you can see, highlight the terms carefully or the individual statements of fact carefully in different colors on the left hand side, and then carefully work through reasons to eliminate, cross checking those terms against those facts to find yourself with the correct answer at the end of what is ultimately one of the most difficult question types that you'll find on the LSAT logical reasoning section.